Coming up on the Forbes.com video network, a place so cold that airplane landing gear snaps off like twigs and boiling water turns to ice before it can hit the ground. That's the South Pole. We'll take you there on a visit with Forbes Adventurer Jim Clash.
We know what you expect from a luxury vehicle. Superior handling, engineering excellence, incomparable comfort and appointments that fit your personal style. Introducing ForbesAutos.com, a new website devoted exclusively to luxury vehicles. Visit ForbesAutos.com today for independent advice, research, reviews, decision guides, and dealer price information. All from an editorial resource you know and trust. ForbesAutos.com.
Welcome back. I'm Albert Bozzo. Forbes Adventurer columnist Jim Clash is usually the one interviewing the daredevil types on this program, but Jim has a sizable taste for adventure and risk himself, and his recent trip to the South Pole is an adventure worth exploring, which is why he's here to answer the questions rather than ask them this time around. Jim, thanks for being with us.
Albert, thanks for having me on my show.
Takeaway here is, was this an endurance test, or was it an adventure that happened to include some very, very tough conditions?
I think it's a combination of both. I was actually not as prepared as I should have been for this adventure. I didn't realize that the cold would be, constant below zero temperatures. We'd be skiing 2 miles above sea level, where you're literally breathing a lot thinner air than you are at sea level, and that you're pulling a 110-pound sled behind you the whole time. So I would say it was very much an endurance trek, because you've got to be doing this, day in, day out. It's exhausting, it's cold, you have to protect yourself from frostbite. But what a great adventure to get to the South Pole. Fewer than 300 people have ever skied to the South Pole.
Right, so once you're there, it's quite the accomplishment, and you skied for several days, hours a day to make the 70-mile trip from your landing site. But, I mean, what's to see when you're skiing through this white horizon?
It's pretty amazing. Again, it really is just a white desert. There are no land markers whatsoever, and we had to use our GPS to know which way to go. But you do see some pretty amazing stuff. I mean, one day we saw this this arc around the sun. It was like a rainbow around the sun, where we had 2 false suns on either side, a strange apparition because of all the tiny little ice crystals in the sky. Now, the sky was clear, but you could, again, see this rainbow around the sun with 2 false suns. It was beautiful. Another day, these ice crystals just started falling from a blue sky. I've never experienced anything like that. And there is a chance to see meteorites down there, because anything down there that's dark against the white background, if it's a rock, it had to come from space. It couldn't come from anywhere else, because the ice cap is 2 miles thick. But we didn't see any meteorites.
Now, were there any close calls? I mean, at a certain point, did you think you had frostbite? What's the risk there other than frostbite?
Well, the risk is altitude sickness, and I had a couple of days of that. We just landed right at 10,000 feet to start skiing, and putting in 8 hours a day of skiing with that 110-pound sled. It was pretty tough. So I had a headache, nausea. One of the guys, Bill Roberts, on the trip did get some frostbite on his face. You really had to be careful, because the temperature could change fairly quickly. It was 24 hours of light, so the sun just circled the sky like this, the same 23 degrees above the horizon, and the weather could change, and you wouldn't realize it. When you're skiing, you're getting warm, and if the wind picks up, you can quickly get frostbite. So we were careful to make sure we put on face masks when the wind picked up and when the temperature dropped.
Finally, tell us a little bit about the ultimate destination. I mean, you went to the scientific research station there, which is truly a place that not a lot of people have been to, and is a place that you really can't get to for most of the year. What's it like?
Well, there is only 2 companies that you can actually do this with. It's Geographic Expeditions and Voyage Concepts, this ski trip. And to get there, it's a very expensive trip. It's $41,000. But when you get there, the National Science Foundation welcomes you into the Amundsen-Scott Research Station. They give you a little tour. You see some of the, there's a telescope down there that we were treated to, the BICEP telescope, which studies the Big Bang Theory of the universe. NOAA showed us their facility where they measure the ozone hole over Antarctica. And then the station itself, there's a ham radio there. I got to operate that. Being a ham radio operator was a lot of fun for me. As a kid, I had talked to the station on the other end in America, in Maryland. And this woman, Liesel, very, very nice from National Science Foundation, took us in. There's a shop there where you can buy souvenirs, mostly
cash only?
Cash only, no credit cards, and only dollars, because it's a U.S. station. But I'd have to say, it's over winter, only 60 people inhabit the place. It's inaccessible for 8 months a year when the temperatures drop to 100 degrees below zero and more. But in the summer, which is November, December, January, and part of February, you've got 240 people there. So it's a little city, and they're building a new complex because the old Amundsen-Scott Dome is being covered by snow. So it's a little city of itself, and they have a little newspaper there. They have a dining room. So we had to camp outside. That's part of the deal. You can't actually stay in the quarters for the science people, but we learned a lot. We had a great time.
Fascinating trip, Jim. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks.
That's Forbes Adventurer columnist Jim Clash talking about his trip to Antarctica. I'm Albert Bozzo. Thanks for joining us on the Forbes.com Video Network.